Hello everyone. Today we are going to move on to the second part of the function, and yes, we are going to spend a lot of time doing functions. Well, the reason is I want you guys to be able to write good code, not just working code. Okay, well, today we are going to demystify one of the important part about the function, that is how do the parameters work. Okay, so let's see this example. Well, we create a function called square, and then we take the x, and then we do x multiplied by x, and then that is assign the new value to y, and the y will be the x squared, so we want to return the y, so no problem, right? And then say if we want to do a z equals the square 10, and then, well, this is just a function cal. I'm sending 10 as a parameter to the function, and I'm going to receive the 10 squared. Well, eventually I want to do this thing. Well, print y. Can I print the y's value? And I got this. I say, well, the name y is not defined. Is that true? Well, wait for a second. I thought I defined the y variable name here, right? So it seems that y is defined, but however, when we go outside of the function definition, and then, well, y is not accessible anymore. Well, and in Python, we call this y a local variable. Local to what? Local to the function definition. So y's lifespan only stays inside the function definition, and outside the function definition we cannot access the y anymore. Okay, so, well, another thing I want to remind you is, well, when we define this function here, well, we say we want to square the x, and then we want to return the x multiplied by x. Okay, so in this function definition, do we have the x value? The answer is no, right? So when we are defining this function and we are assuming that we are going to receive an x, well, and probably this x should be a number, and then no matter what x value we receive, we are going to return x squared. So for this x, this is called a formal parameter. So this is for the definition of the function. And later, when we are sending this 10 will be the actual parameter, and then this is the 10 will be sent to the function definition. So when we trigger the square x with the x as 10, and then the actual parameter x, the actual parameter 10 will be used for the formal parameter x. Okay, so this is the process. Well, and another thing I want to talk about is, say, let me write you another part of the code. Say def say name, and then parameter. Say I'm gonna use a name variable, and no matter what name I got, I'm gonna say print hello, my name is comma name. Okay, so, well, no matter what name I receive, and then this name will be used as a formal parameter. So no matter what name I have, and then I'm going to say hello, my name is, and then tada, which is the name I'm going to receive later. Say I'm going to do a say name, and then with the parameter Yang, and then I'm going to get hello, my name is Yang. Or if I want to say name with Bob, and then I'm gonna get hello, my name is Bob, right? So, well, for this Yang or the Bob, those are both actual parameters. Okay, well, let me do that a little bit harder. Well, I'm gonna do a print greetings. Well, is that okay? Well, I print greetings, and then I print hello, my name is Yang. Okay, can I do that? Yes. Okay, but how about I want to define the string of the greetings outside? Say I'm going to do a greetings string. And then I want to define the greetings string outside. So that is greetings string equals greetings. Okay, so now this function gets a little bit weird. Well, we are taking the name as the formal parameter, and then we are relying on a definition of the greetings string. not inside the function but outside the function. Well, and then this greeting string is indeed defined here, and when we are calling the same name Yang, and then this name will be Yang because that is the actual parameter. But when we are printing the greeting string, I might still gonna be get the greetings. So let's try this. Okay, so well, it still works, but this is kind of a weird example. Why? Because well, when we are why? Well, remember the answer of this question. Why we are defining functions? We want to define function because number one, we want to reduce the copy of the paste of the same code, and number two, if we want to do a similar functionality in another project, what do? We can grab a function definition from one Jupyter notebook to another Jupyter notebook, and then we have that function, right? Well, say if I want to grab this function, and then put it into another Jupyter notebook, can I do that? Well, yes, but the problem is, well, when I'm creating another Jupyter notebook and then try to run this function, it will require me to define a greeting string, and then this greeting string is not part of the function definition. So I end up with doing this. I have to grab the function definition, and yet I have to grab the definition of the greeting string, which is not part of the function definition. So this is just weird. So in Python, we can do that. So in the local function definition scope, we can access the values created in the global scope. So that's okay, we can do that. But doing this kind of coding will make your code harder to maintain, especially if you want to grab a function and put into another project, and then you all of a sudden you find that there is a variable not defined in the function definition. So how do you fix that? You want to put this kind of function definition inside this kind of variable inside your function definition. So when you are grabbing this part of the code and put it into another function, another Jupyter notebook, and then ta-da, you do have everything needed for that functionality. Okay, so well, let's see another bad example here. Well, here I want to do a bad square, and that is y equals x powers power. Okay, so I'm making the same mistake because I have the variable name called power. So well, when I'm trying to grab this function and then put it into another Jupyter notebook, and when I run this code, and then it will tell me the variable power is not defined. Why? Because here I define the power outside as a global variable name. So in Python, that's okay. And if in this function definition, I need the value of power, and I see this Python will see this power is not defined in the local scope of the function definition. And then Python will do another lookup to see whether we have the power in the global scope, and then ta-da, we do have that. So in this case, I can get the best square 10, and then I will get 100. However, this is a bad example. So how do we, well, what's the problem? Say later, if for some reason someone or me myself change the power into 4, okay, that is a global variable name, so yes, I can change that, right? And if by some mistake I change the power to 4, and then if I call this function again, that's a problem. Well, now instead of 100, I will get 10,000. Okay, so this is a even though for this kind of practice, well, it works and you won't get a syntax error. However, it will make your code more vulnerable to some of the unexpected errors. So to make sure your code can be your function can be copied and then bring to another Jupyter notebook or another project, well, you want to have a isolated function. It only relies on the input parameter but nothing else. Okay, so go ahead and try to fix the code here. So I want to do a good square, and then pay attention to where I want to define the power variable. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video here, and after you finish this coding, and then we can continue to the next video.